I'm Catherine McGavick at GBTA Broadcast Studio, and I'm delighted to welcome Dan Fitzgerald from Traveldoo. Dan, thanks very much for joining us today. And so, why the focus on travel and expense? You know, what makes that area so important for you?
Okay, so I started in the T&E industry, let's say. It wasn't an industry, in 2004. And at this point, we were picking up the phone and calling people, and job one was to explain what an SBT was. And half the people hadn't really heard, and trying to explain why they didn't need an agent was just crazy talk. And then you'd explain, and you can also have expense management built in. And this was just insane. This was just, you know...
what? Hocus pocus?
So, you know, you wind forward the clock. And, you know, we've got, you know, Concur up there with 10-foot letters. We've got Amadeus with Citric, 6-foot letters, travel and expense. So, you know, that bet that companies like Traveldoo took, that this was the future, that you really should try to be there from when a user first thinks of their business trip to when they get their money back. You need to, you know, the value to be with them through that journey and link all those parts. Now it seems obvious, but you know, it's a bet that we took, and they say imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, so we feel pretty flattered when we see see these things.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And so, you know, whenever we look at customer satisfaction and user experience, what do you think matters most and why?
Well, this is a tough one, right? I mean, we're part of Expedia, and I would say even their job's a little easier. They're only trying to make one group of people happy, which is the users, right? Okay. Business travel, there's users, there's arrangers, there's travel managers. So, you know, trying to balance those is really tricky. What I would say is that, you know, that cursor has moved in a healthy way, so that people are paying attention to the needs of the traveler. I would say that some people have kind of pushed it a little too far. And said, you know, we're just all about the traveler. And I think the balance needs to be struck, right? You can't just give the travelers everything that they want and ignore, for example, the arrangers. So, you know, we've got a great mobile solution. Arrangers aren't going to use a mobile solution. So we do need to pay attention to all the actors when we think about customer satisfaction and the user experience. So I think user experience should apply to everyone in that game. It's very difficult. It's hard.
There's a fair point. So, Dan, let's look into the future. What are your predictions for the future of travel technology?
Okay, so there are some things happening that I think are really interesting and bode well. Like the sharing economy right now. I'm Ubering and Airbnb-ing my way around Paris, just in my kind of personal and private life. So I think that tech for kind of mutualizing kind of fixed cost assets is very powerful, and we're going to see a lot more of that. And you know, Airbnb are here today. I think we're going to see that really come into force in many different areas. I'm less impressed with the state of play of AI. I know there's been some stuff talked about that today, and really for me, it's just not there yet. We're asking technology to try and behave like humans, and the problem for me is I'm expecting it to really have that level of interaction like a human. And so when it doesn't get to that level, I find it distressing, I find it disappointing. So, you know, I'm not a big fan of Siri, I'm not a big fan of some of these other things that we'll see. I think it may get there in the future, but not for me right now. The thing that I am really keen on is gamification. So the travel industry, for me, it's been about the stick for a long time, right? It's all about how do we get people to behave, to do the right thing. How do we tell them off in this way and that way, and try and keep their behavior what we want. With gamification, and I hate the word gamification, but overall the idea that you're going to bring people into the project to, you know, give them great traveler experiences, but also help the companies achieve its goal. I think that's powerful. You know, why not share the rewards of us all achieving the goal? So, you know, stick. Let's have a carrot. Again, it's about a balance. But I think that's a healthy vision for the future.
No, absolutely, completely agree with you, Dan. Well, thank you so much for agreeing to speak to us, and have a great conference. Thanks.
You.